Welcome back, travelers, to an all-new video. In today's video, I have a bit of a different video for you today because it's actually a vlog video that I recorded back in August 2023 on my experience of doing San Pedro, which is this cactus that is used for ceremonial purposes here in Peru and in other neighboring countries that engage in shamanic practices. And I had this experience last year, and I did it with the person who facilitated my Gambo ceremony, who is Nick. So if you have not seen the video on my Gambo ceremony, I'll put it up here somewhere for you to click on and watch that as well. But I did San Pedro with Nick as well last year, and I wanted to share that experience with you. I initially was a bit on the fence of putting this video out there because I don't know, I was just like, what value does this video really provide people with other than just me having my experience? But after I went through the clips and I was like, yeah, okay, I think there is definitely some value I can put out there into the world by sharing my experience and what I've learned from it as a result. So without any more delays, let's get into the vlog, and then at the end I'll come back with some final messages on my insights on the experience. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Stef. I do videos on all things Peru. I love helping people come to Peru prepared and know what to expect, whether they're here as a traveler or they're thinking of moving here or they're trying to reconnect back with their Peruvian roots. And so that's what my channel is about. If you enjoy that kind of content, then definitely be sure to subscribe to my channel. So anyway, let's get into the video. Welcome back, travelers, to another video of me doing some crazy spiritual Peruvian shamanic stuff. Thanks to my crazy gringo friend over here, Nick, getting me into these things that I never had no interest in. Anyway, Nick, what are we going to be doing today?
We're going to be doing some San Pedro.
Which is what?
Connecting with the cactus. Sorry for my crazy hair. I look like a clown. But anyways, yeah, we're going to be connecting with the spirit of the cactus, the grandfather spirit of San Pedro. It is native from the Andes, so from the mountains here in Peru. You'll see a lot of shamanic culture. They will use it. It's usually around like Cusco area. A lot of tourists will actually go there basically to do the San Pedro experience. It's the spirit of the cactus. It's important to mention. Some people will view it as drugs, but it is part of the traditional native culture. And I guess if you would talk from like a drug perspective, it is technically mescaline, but it is the pure cactus form directly, and it is a very healing spirit. A lot of different people heal many different types of problems, personal problems they might want to work on, and also has some very powerful neurogenesis effects to help to change the brain and rewire it also as you connect more to the spirit world and the spirit of the medicine. So yeah.
So that's what we're going to be doing today. I had no plans of doing this, but he offered because he's leaving soon. So he was like, I have some stuff if you're open to it. So I was like, okay, sure. Only because it's him and I trust him. Because like I said, I had never had any interest in these psychedelic type things. I've always stayed away from drugs and those kinds of things. Like it's never been an interest of mine. No hate to anyone who has experimented with those things. Also, I feel like recently my ancestors have been really calling me to more of the shamanic practices. So I'm just dipping my toes, having the experiences, seeing what effect they have on me, and seeing how my journey unfolds as a result. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to try to record what I can today, but I don't know how much memory I have on my phone. So I will do my best to show you the process. All right, you ready?
Wish us luck.
All right, boss. What are we doing?
Somarape Chiricsanango, which is a powerful master plant that exists here in the Amazon rainforest. Some shamans will diet on this, but it's just a way to ground our energies, basically.
Can you show it on the camera? And what are you going to use to consume this?
I'm going to be using I guess a rape pipe. This one kind of broke. Usually it goes onto the other side, but this should do the trick. It's basically a shamanic snuff to ground your energies, and they have different ones to connect to different plants with different purposes. And this one's I find a very calming and relaxing spirit.
I'm not a fan of rape. I don't like it, but last time I did this with him, with Cambo, it was really weird how grounded I felt afterwards. It was like the coolest thing. I can't explain it. So the feeling I like, but going through the process of having this stuff go up my nose, I do not like. We didn't use that much last time.
Huh?
We didn't use.
Oh, that's kind of what came out. Usually people in the jungle, they'll do rape to really feel the effects of the plant. They'll do rape sometimes like 20 times in a row. That's much more painful. And they blow in their nose for like 20 times until they get whatever the visions of whatever the plant they're trying to get. In the case I'm thinking about, it's new.
I don't like getting shots. And every time I have to get a shot, I get nervous. And this is how I feel about rape. That's why I'm like, all of that. Okay, I'm brave.
This is nothing to me.
I'm brave.
Okay.
Are sweaty.
Look, it's normal.
Okay.
How do you feel?
I'm okay.
Better? You're okay? Okay.
Oh, the back of my throat hurts.
There's some extra if you need to cough or something.
I just want to get it over with.
Take me through the house. Focus on the breathing. With your mouth. Okay. How do you feel now?
Good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Feeling the effects?
No, it's not like the first one that you gave me.
Mento's a little bit different spirit.
Yeah, I really felt that way.
Mento's a very refreshing spirit. It's very, it wakes up all your senses.
Yeah.
Chidi, some more grounding earth type thing. Chidi gets yeah. So relaxing.
Can I blow my nose?
Huh?
Can I blow my nose?
Just wait a minute or two again. So right now I'm done some intention setting, and we're about to basically imbue our intentions, basically our energies with the spirit of San Pedro, with the cactus powder before we actually ingest it. So it's important to connect with your intention in any type of healing work you actually do if you want some deeper healing, because everything is in intentions and everything is energy.
What are we doing now?
We're about to mapacho. Basically use the grandfather spirit of tobacco to protect ourselves, to protect our auric field, our energy field, and basically protect us during the experience.
Okay. Crazy.
Am I crazy? I don't know. Aren't we all crazy in our own ways?
Tastes disgusting.
It's not too bad. It's not as bad as ayahuasca.
You're gonna like everything that's shamanistic or whatever, shamanic. You're gonna like it all. You're never gonna say anything bad about it.
Well, maybe about the bad taste of aya, but that's it. But yeah, I get what you mean. I won't be ditching on my own future profession.
Yeah. I'm just honest.
I respect that. Yeah, maybe 10 minutes and then we're already on the second one. Can't wait too long unless you want to stay up until 6 a.m.
Might as well get this ready. Why does it keep you awake?
That's a good question. I think it's probably the compounds that are in there that makes your heart rate go faster a bit. Any type of like psychedelics, they always seem to like stimulate the central nervous system because I believe it's probably because of the stimulating effects. It's not a stimulant, but it has a stimulating effect on the brain. You know, it has like neurogenesis effects. It helps to create new neurons. So like the brain is like fully active as you're doing this. So it's harder to like go back to, you know, sleep into an unconscious state when your brain is fully conscious. You know what I mean? Yeah. That's my take on it.
And why do we need to have 2 doses? Why is 1 dose not enough?
You won't feel anything. That's what the guy recommended to me.
Okay.
The guy from Cusco, he was like, you want free experience? I'm gonna sell you 6 packets for 2 packets for each experience. You want to like a nice immersive experience.
So you're still like fully lucid with this? Like you can get up, walk around, do whatever?
You can walk around, but you'll feel like a little bit sedated. In the sense that you'll feel very relaxed. You know when you're like drunk a little bit, but you're not, you know, you just want to lay down and just chill. It feels a little bit like weed. It just feels like you'll feel heavy a little bit. Okay. But you'll still be there. You'll be able to talk to me. You might just chill and be more into the experience if you close your eyes. It really depends on your feel. Okay. But you should still be here.
Do people fall asleep?
I doubt it.
Okay.
Like I couldn't go to sleep until 6 a.m. Like I wanted to go to sleep and I couldn't have the experience. Fully wired. Cheers. Okay. Freaking warrior. There you go. So another thing that I might add is that's when the owner, the founder of the center was saying that people do Naya and stuff like that, but that applies to false spirits, not spirit medicines you might experience. When you do the experience, you gotta show the spirit that you're not afraid of it. You gotta basically surrender into the experience and not be on the defensive, because sometimes your ego comes up when we go into these experiences because it scares sometimes the ego a little bit. So sometimes, I mean, it happens more on Aya because it's a lot more overwhelming on Aya. People will sometimes like, I'll have to finish this first. Oh, fuck. To the very last drop. Gotta respect the medicine. Sometimes people will be like in a crouch position or whatever. It's like too overwhelming with ayahuasca, I mean. You know, in crouching position or whatever. What does that show the spirit?
If you're afraid, you're holding it all in. You're not letting go, you're not surrendering.
Exactly. In ayahuasca, I guess you're afraid of her. In San Pedro, you would be afraid of him, let's say. For me, it didn't happen. I was just like freaking like, I was like, oh, this is fucking great. But when people are like that, then it worsens their experience because they don't get in touch with the medicine as much, you know? And the important is just to surrender. It takes like 30 to 40, 45 minutes to an hour max to start. Yay!
I got you on camera.
Oh, shit.
I just wanted to record an update on this vlog. It's been like 12 hours since we started this whole thing. I've slept a lot. I cried a few times today. Mostly because today's my deceased uncle's birthday. Anyway, it's been a long ass day. Low-key, I felt drunk a little while earlier, and I don't drink alcohol. So that was interesting to feel what that feels like again after so long. I've had fruits. I'm okay overall. My stomach is acting funky. I didn't see too many weird things. And that's it.
You reached the end of my vlog, and now I just want to share some additional insights with you that I have today after that experience. Okay, this was 13 months ago as of today when I'm recording this, and I've definitely accumulated a lot more experience and knowledge, and I've done other things since that San Pedro ceremony. So I did do ayahuasca in December of 2023. I did San Pedro in August of 2023, and also Cambo in August of 2023. Like I said in previous videos and even in this video, doing these kinds of things, psychedelics or any, DRUG, I can't spell, DRUGS related things has never really been on my radar. I've just always been a goody two shoes in that regard. But last year, I felt pulled to do these things for the different reasons that I've explained in different videos, depending on what it was that I was doing at the time. Around that month of like July and August 2023, I just kept feeling called to connect with my roots more in a different way, to connect more with indigenous medicine, my ancestors. And I had a past client of mine who is a psychic who, I don't remember why, she tuned into my energy for some reason and just felt like I would benefit a lot from connecting with my ancestral lineage and these kinds of things. And every time I would see a video on like TikTok or something, it was like something related to the ancestors or whatever. So I just kept feeling like, okay, I need to connect with these kinds of things, and maybe this is where I'm being guided, and I'm just going to be open to what happens. So that was part of the reason why I did San Pedro, is just because I had been feeling pulled to connect with ancestral indigenous medicines. And Nick, who facilitated my Gambo ceremony, because he's an officially like certified Gambo practitioner, because of that ceremony, I developed a lot of like trust with him. I am pretty good at reading people, I think, these days. And even when I first met Nick, I could tell he was a good person, but after the ceremony, I was like, yes, this is legitimately a good person. And I feel safe enough in what I know about him to also do this kind of experience with him as well, especially if he's offering, because that's his jam. That's what he's about. So I just was open to the opportunity. The ancestors I felt were calling me, and I went for it, right? And now looking back on that, I don't regret that experience, but I feel like with the knowledge that I have today, and hopefully this airplane isn't too loud that's flying over my head, but with the knowledge that I have today on the importance of really respecting the indigenous culture, sacred medicine, just these practices, I definitely feel and believe that an experience of ayahuasca in the city is going to be completely different from an experience of ayahuasca over there in the jungle. An experience of doing San Pedro at Nick's place is going to be totally different from an experience of me going on a retreat somewhere to Cusco, maybe to do San Pedro there ceremonially. You know, they're just completely different things for so many reasons. And it's not like one is either good or bad or right and wrong. It's whatever you need in the moment, whatever's available to you in the moment. You know, not everyone can afford to spend hundreds or thousands of dollars or soles or whatever to go to the jungle to do ayahuasca. It's just not feasible because you got to pay for your plane ticket over there and then your accommodation or the retreat or whatever over there and all that stuff. And it just really adds up. But if you want healing and healing is available in the city where you're at, you go for it, you know, and it can still be a beautiful experience and you can still get what you need out of it. And the same for San Pedro. We did San Pedro at Nick's place. He had it already dehydrated, ready to mix and drink, but I'm sure that the experience in an official retreat center place that does this, I'm pretty sure they probably harvest the cactus themselves and dry the cactus and then they grind it and then they cook it in whatever way ceremonially and they probably like pray over it in some kind of way or chant or whatever to infuse it with certain energies, and then the shaman that you work with that's facilitating it carries a certain energy, and you know that also influences the experience a lot. So it's not just how the medicine is prepared, it's also the person there supporting you and assisting you in certain ways, and then also the thing that you're addressing, your intention, like all of that matters. And so it's different than me and Nick, you know, just mixing this stuff up that's already ground and dried and whatever, and then drinking it, even though we did do our best to be as respectful and conscious as possible throughout the whole process and really come from a place of an integrity and respect. That's why I wanted to share the video, the vlog in the end, because we went through the process of clearing our energies with the Palo Santo and then using protection with the Mapacho sacred tobacco and setting intentions and all that stuff. Like we did the best within our means and our current situation or reality to show up with integrity and to just have the experience that was meant for us. But if I had had an option to maybe do San Pedro in a retreat center place over there in Cusco or some other place where this is typically offered, I would have gone and done that there. And I didn't share the rest of the actual process because once you're in it, you're just kind of in it. I don't know how to explain it. And there's nothing much to show. Like at some point after we drank the stuff, we just lay down and waited for it to kind of hit us, I guess. And we're just laying there. And Nick is like, "Don't you see the ceiling is having some different colors and things show up?" And I'm just looking at it. I'm like, "No, I don't see anything." I didn't really see anything at all. You know, I may have briefly might have seen some rainbow colors, but like I didn't really see anything at all. Nick was over there tripping out seeing things that I clearly was not seeing. But also Nick is super open and receptive to psychedelics and all related things because that's his jam. So maybe because of my own personal biases or blockages at the time, maybe that's also why I didn't see as much as maybe I could have or he did. There really is no right or wrong way like of how the medicine is going to affect you. We all have different experiences and they're all perfect, you know, they're all whatever they need to be. So even if I had unconscious issues for maybe not seeing things, that was still perfect and what it needed to be. How it really affected me was I just laid there and I just remember yawning a lot, feeling really sleepy, really tired. We were just laying down chilling, and I didn't really see the point of recording any of that when we're just chilling, laying down, just having an experience. You know what I mean? I didn't think that that was eventful enough for me to record. So yeah, I just remember at times I would fall asleep and then I come to, or I felt like I was kind of awake, but I had my eyes closed. I don't know how to explain it. So it was just like that for like hours on end, hours on end. And I did end up getting emotional towards the sometime later in the day, I guess, because I remembered that that day happened to be the day of a deceased uncle's birthday. And I remembered my uncle because he had, passed away a couple years before. And it just made me really emotional. And I think that the medicine really brings up whatever it needs to bring up for you. I guess the medicine in some way helped me to grieve a little bit more that loss and just release what I needed to. Since this experience, I also recently, for the purposes of this video, I did a little bit of research on San Pedro and ayahuasca and these related things. And I know that there are two similar sacred cactuses that people use in the Americas, which is peyote, I believe, in Mexico and surrounding areas. And here in Peru and surrounding countries, we use San Pedro. And they have slightly different experiences from what I've read online. And San Pedro seems to be the cactus that feels like a heavy feather, is how it was described in my research. It's a heavy feather, it's a masculine grandfatherly energy, and it's like a lighter experience. So you still address or work through whatever you need to with the help of this medicine, but it's like a more gentle approach, I guess, versus the other sacred cactus, which is peyote. I think I read something that it's described more as like a hammer. It kind of comes down on you. It's a strong masculine kind of energy, and it really like brings stuff to the surface for you or something. So I'm not an expert on these things. If anyone has done both of these sacred medicines, please share your experiences down below so we can all learn from you. But that's kind of the gist of what I got. These airplanes. So that's the gist of what I understood in the differences between San Pedro and peyote. And I'm sharing this because if you're thinking of exploring these kinds of things and you're not yet ready for things like ayahuasca or cambo or whatever, and you want to start dipping your toes, then maybe going to some kind of San Pedro retreat might be the way for you to have a gentler experience and to kind of ease your way into these kinds of things. I really didn't have profound insights or profound healing or profound release. At least my perception is it wasn't really profound. I just released some stuff related to my uncle. I yawned a lot, which is my form of releasing old energy that doesn't serve me. So maybe that's just my perception as well. Maybe the medicine was doing some deep work on me and I just didn't know what it was, but I could see in my physical body that I'm releasing because I was yawning a lot, like for hours. It was helping me in some aspect. And remember feeling kind of drunk towards the end around 10, 11 o'clock at night. That was weird. And then, yeah, finally it just kind of passed and went through my system by 2 a.m. And I was well enough and in my right state of mind the whole time to be able to walk around and do things. It's just that I ended up staying with Nick until the next day because since I'm such a newbie to all of these things, I wasn't sure if I take a taxi home, what if I fall asleep in the taxi and something happens to me, or I don't know, I pass out or something. So I just rather be safe than sorry, and like I'm staying here until this is completely out of my system and I'm good to go and I feel back to normal. And so I ended up spending the night, but I was awake the whole time till like 2, 3 in the morning. And then I slept for a few hours and then I got up to go home very early because I was like, okay, yeah, I need to go. So that was my experience. I hope that me sharing my experience and the process helped you in some kind of way. I feel that in the future, I would definitely be open to attending a San Pedro retreat. I have a friend of mine who went to a San Pedro retreat. I think it was in Nicaragua or Honduras or something. And she had such a profound experience. And even like, I don't know, a month or two after the retreat, she felt like she was still integrating a lot of the things that she was working through and stuff during that retreat. And so it had a really profound experience. And I would like to attend an official retreat of my own sometime where maybe the experience would be totally different, you know? And the same goes for ayahuasca. For me, I don't think I want to do ayahuasca anytime soon, but if I'm gonna do it, hopefully the next time it's gonna be in an official retreat kind of way in the jungle. In a maloca, which a maloca is like the special, I don't know how to describe it. It's not a hut, but it's a triangular type shape dome space where everyone goes and takes the medicine. I would like to be there in that space with the energy of the jungle, hearing the insects and the things at night and hearing the different shamans sing their icaros and stuff and see how that experience unfolds. And yeah, how it differs from the experience that I had here in the city. So I really hope that this was helpful to you today and beneficial in some kind of way. If it was, please give this video a thumbs up, as that always helps my channel, and drop me a comment down below sharing your thoughts with me, any questions you may have. I can't say I'll have the answers if it's related to these kinds of things, because again, this is not really my world. I just dip my toes in there from time to time now. And I have good friends like Nick who kind of guide me in that arena, since it's not really very familiar to me yet. And yeah, I think that's basically it for today. If you want to see more videos like this, definitely check out my playlist on Ancestral Shamanic Medicine. I'll put it up here somewhere for you to go and watch those videos after. And I also have an upcoming interview with Nick on Cambo and a bunch of different questions related to Cambo in case you're interested in having a Cambo ceremony wherever you are in the world, or if you're thinking of coming to Peru and you want to have a Cambo ceremony and you want to learn more about it, then that's what the video is going to be for, is to help answer any questions you may have. And yeah, that's basically it. So thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.